The Federal Ministry of Works and Housing has sought and got approval for the augmentation of two existing contracts for Ikorodu-Shagamu Road at the cost of 6.972 billion naira and the augmentation of 2.577 million naira of Potiskum to Damaturu section of Kano to Meduguri Road. The Minister of Works and Housing, Babatunde Fashola, who made this known, also said Council approved the construction and rehabilitation of 11 federal roads, totaling 737 kilometers across the country, under the NNPC Limited intervention arrangements. This approval is coming less than 40 days before the present administration hands over to a new government.
2 kilometers, they've completed over 20 kilometers, which has been open to traffic. So council approved a 6.972 billion augmentation for them to complete the road. That was one. Fourth and final one is the approval for the construction and rehabilitation of 11 federal roads, totaling 737.242 kilometers in the sum of 1,535 billion, 154 million, 247 million, 224 naira and 48 kobo under phase 2 of the NNPC tax credit scheme. You will recall that in January this year, I presented a memo that Council approved for NNPC to invest 1.9 trillion in our roads. In that 1.9 trillion, there were then about 44 roads that had been awarded. They were under contract. So that was done. So the balance of that 1.9 trillion, so it's not a new one. The balance of that 1.9 trillion, roads that had not then been awarded, that had to go through procurement between that January and now, which has now been completed, are these 11 that have now been approved by Council under that global figure.
In the education sector, the Council approved for the award for a befitting Senate building for the Federal University of Health and Medical Sciences, Ila Oragun, Osun State, at the cost of 2.157 billion naira to be funded from an allocation from Tertiary Education Trust Fund, TET Fund. The council also got approval for the purchase of 13 ambulances for selected federal university colleges at 620 million naira as pari in the second phase of similar intervention.
The memo for the award of contract for the construction and furnishing of Senate building 4 suspended floors for the Federal University of Health Sciences, Ila Orogun in Osun State, at the cost of 2,167,572,633 naira 12 kobo. The project is to be funded from an allocation from the TET fund amounting to about 3 billion approved as high impact intervention fund for institutions. The university is a specialized university with focus on health, nutrition, and medical services, with a total of 9 academic programs approved by NUC so far, comprising of microbiology, biochemistry, nutrition, dietetics, pharmacology, medical laboratory sciences, information technology and health informatics, audiology, nursing science, medicine, and surgery.
Also, among other approvals, Minister of State for Budget and National Planning Clement Agba announced that his ministry got a go-ahead for the award of contract for the purchase of one aircraft for the Nigerian Customs at the cost of 3.447 billion naira. This is an addition to current fleets, and it is to provide more assistance in the area of the surveillance and security.
The Ministry of Finance, Budget and National Planning presented a couple of memos this afternoon to the Federal Executive Council for which approvals were obtained. The first one, which is the approval for the award of contract for the procurement of one number Cessna Caravan aircraft, AX208B, by the Nigerian Customs. And this was in favor of Messrs. Worldwide Skypath Services Limited in conjunction with Afric Air Inc., the authorized distributor of Cessna aircraft in Africa. And it's in the sum of 3,447,442,710 naira, inclusive of 7.5% VAT. This is with a delivery period of 12 months. This aircraft is an addition to the current fleet in the customs service, and it is aimed towards combating smuggling and intelligence gathering for suppressing smuggling activities, and also to provide area surveillance and reconnaissance for the customs across our borders.
Meanwhile, a bill on the amendment of the nation's labor laws to be in concurrent with international labor standards will soon be sent to the National Assembly. Minister of Labor Chris Ngige hinted that the process, which started in 2001, has led to the enactment of several bills which are yet to be fully passed by the Federal Parliament. He said the International Labour Organization is providing technical assistance along the grey areas, and the Ministry of Justice is to examine the technicalities before transmission to the National Assembly for legislative actions. From the Presidential Villa, Abuja, Folonsha Degoke, Core TV News.